Morning all. Can you hear me? I hope you can. We'll be starting the session in the next 1-2 minutes. I'll be inviting Haril from CompTIA to join us on the stage. Haril will share with some of the course information and the certification roadmap for CompTIA courses. Yep, over to you, Haril.
Hi, morning, Gary, and those
over to you, Haril. Yep.
Thank you so much for the presentation now. Hello everyone, my name is Haril. I'm the country manager of CompTIA. I hope some of you already heard about CompTIA. Basically today I think we're going to touch into skills about the background into the IT trend globally. Also speak about the past and present of IT skills and the whereabouts. A little bit about cybersecurity and the local insights information, and as well as the IT skills gap employment and generate the professional education that provided by CompTIA. So our topic today will be about the workforce challenges, all in all, in terms of the this required learning to NTUC. So I think this is the thing that we want to see. What are past, what is coming in the present, the future anticipations. So basically, if you look into the area core skill as well, this is some of the facts that we wanted to know, wanted to share, wanted to explore into all the cyber attacks. So I think all in all, the cyber threats, the cyber attacks happening in our part of the world globally. There are about 30,000 websites being hacked already. There are more and more companies experiencing a lot of the cyber attacks, and we can see that records are goes missing, records are being breached, and malware, ransomware, as well as malicious mobile apps be attacking to our life daily, to our devices, through our workstations, through our PC and laptops. So these are the things that really concerning. And what are the things that contributed into the cybercrime? What are the needs of IT and security talents in terms of this area? So what are the core skills that are required? Pandemic report cybersecurity ventures with a lot of costs. In terms of the cost, it's really alarming, and the cost has kept increasing due to the cyber billions of dollars in terms of the cost being confiscated in terms of the damage in hour or even a minute. Every dollars has been spent, and every second you can see that thousands globally or even cost us in terms of this. So all in all, you can see that focus or tally into the cyber attacks in Asia country purpose. It's happening from Bangladesh, coming to Malaysia, coming to Singapore in the past as well. And of the cyber attacks where hackers like operation in Asia. At the moment, Asian countries are being when it comes to the cybersecurity. So based on the global report from 80 that review, the Asian countries are also being Indonesia, Malaysia, and Vietnam perceived as serving as a global launchpad for malware attacks. So I think in all, security at this necessary as internet is will continue to keep growing. So another report from Hootsuite that in Southeast Asia, the usage indicate that the region has an internet penetration rate of about 1%. So this one also Singapore also is not being left out, which is a report taken from the Singapore Cybersecurity Agency. You can see view of the cyber threats in 2021 alone, where there's phishings and the numbers keep growing from 2019 up to officers, and number of the cyber threats has keep increasing. So from the global perspective, from the Asia perspective, coming to the Singapore perspective, this is very alarming in terms of these threats. So I think taking into some of the articles that just recently been produced a few ago by from Z, that in Singapore there are more than about 54 cybersecurity threat incidents daily. So this is really something we need to look into the threats evolving, where really scheduling challenge or individuals need to really take part in terms of combating. So another areas on terms of the report taken from the Channel News Asia, a lot of online scams that are becoming one of the top categories, similar to Malaysia, similar to the Indonesia. In Singapore, 81%, and we can see that the prices and how do we combat, we react and call to action in terms of investing the services in order to ensure everyone to have a better proposition in terms of core skills of the organizations. So I think the cases, the cyber threats, the cyber crime has been keep increasing from past years. So I started to do the investment to see what are the things to ensure these are being catered for. So looking into perspective, Southeast Asia, cybersecurity pandemic in South Asia, a conundrum saying that more and more organizations or governments are taking to put more resource directed into this cybersecurity. Yes, and these are getting more and more serious, and we are looking into what are things that help in order for us to make it a very stagnant line. Spending cybercrime costs, we can see that global economy or global companies has spent hundreds annual. We as a business entity from the industry cannot afford the data. We need the talents, we need the skills that to create more those two, as well as opportunity to complete the ecosystem of that. So I think just enough about the cybersecurity or crime. So let's speak about the technology industry globally. And based on CompTIA report, data shown the tech growth on my screen in terms of the tech growth, tech spending, and tech activities in Southeast Asia, in Asia Pacific, it could be of this. So that we are not being usage those tech growth spending activities, trade activities to this part of the region. By CompTIA IBC, showing that most of the areas in terms of the use of technology or trade does US and also equivalent to the Asia Pacific region. So in terms of the another by CompTIA, which is business technology adoption skills trends, is we conduct this across the 7 countries, Germany, Japan, Singapore, UK, as well as United States. So we can see that the investment in terms of the primary factor, what are the primary factor in terms of the technology investment? So for this area, the primary factor will be for business growth, delivering the business are relying on technology alone. Continue to be continued, which is the primary factor that includes a lot of the areas as compared to the sanitary factor, which is companies may invest or may not invest. This is what we had on our report, whereby the operations to achieve their business objective. So again, we also find a report that the top 3 areas business priorities summarize that the skills and the competency to be invested in are through the people, process, and technology. So the three areas will be the hand efficiencies to build the skilled workforce as well as to create this also will contribute into cultivating or a new vision of based on this report, Singapore is one of the advanced country has also coming into the top of the surveys whereby the perception of the decision makers, the CEOs, the CIOs, whereby they believe in terms of emerging technology. So again, in terms of they see that skills to be skill gap are still there, but they need to keep investing. So technology will continue to impact jobs of all types, and Singapore has been one of the leading countries along the way with top countries in UK and US to be looking into these areas. Another areas, I think, what are the competencies? What are the core skills that are required in terms of to invest in your talent? Probably HR, the looking into the skills gap. They put up a lot of priorities in terms of this talent. So the tech area, tech role that various companies are shown in my screen, where we look into these certain core or in fact the talent, we can see it's that cybersecurity, the cloud, of course, not going to be, and the tech support, IT skills, network. It's all about the core skills, IT application, or to support even your digital transforming resources, business objectives. Other areas, what are the call to action that required to put up by investing in technology, by investing in the people, to top requests that showing in the global report. A lot of the areas are more into either retraining, investing, as well as to ensure that there's a lot of activity in the core skills required. So we look as the layman term, training and education play a major role in terms of to get workers and or to fill up the skills gap. So what's in you in terms of putting up this challenge of the global workforce? What we see of the area, of the global area, we all need to invest in terms of the skills and talent to find the right talent to fill up the skills gap. One of the areas just did, I'm not sure in Singapore whether this job street be one of the main portal apart from LinkedIn in terms of finding the job. So showing that some of the by putting up a simple search on JobStreet, technical support, there's about more than 10,000 job openings. Same goes to the networks search. As in terms of network management, there are more than 10,000 job opening. Of the openings that are available in Singapore, this and also the analytics is something that's always been in search for the corporations in terms of finding the right talents. So this is some of the employment data and demand just recently being sought out by 16th of November, which is yesterday. So I think it's really a requirement, organization, no longer a trend to find these competencies, but it's a requirement to fill up those available jobs. So in the past, okay, speaking about the job itself, when we talk about the IT people, we'll talk about this is like doing the back, doing the maintenance, speaking about the installing the antivirus software. This is was like 10, I don't know, 50. So people perceive about the technical skills, about the competency. We talk about the formatting the computers, the laptop, one to ensure that all the machines are aligned to the IT policies. So in the past, IT has been seen like a back office. It's always meant to be the cost center for the companies, and they need to listen and execute. So this is something that we look in terms of the IT people, but that is not longer the case. So the presence currently, we can see that any organization, any government really investing in terms of the to digital, ensure that digital transformation go across the board. So IT people coming from the back room to the boardroom. So we can see those are created. The task has been assigned to the CISO, CTO, Chief Digital Officer. Government will also have their own special advisors, special officers to ensure the alignment technology and people to be included, and also is a sideway, which is now coming into the areas of to put the web people to also align to the whatever framework that we are putting into the government or the organizations. So I think all in all, speaking of that area, so we here at CompTIA probably just to go into a little bit about introductions. So let's go into the videos first. That gives short ideas of CompTIA stands for Computer Technology Association. So we are the global nonprofit association where what we do, what we provide to the world, which is through the training and skill creation, CompTIA professional certifications, a worldwide leader in literal IT competencies and certifications, and all in all, we are based in the US, in Chicago. Presence in more than 160 countries, and being in Singapore, I think more than 15 years. And all in all, we churn out or we provide about 150,000 certification annually, and these are the things that really helps in terms of the government, especially in the Southeast Asia. And this all in all, we've been certifying more than 3 million users, and that does include those are not certified. The vendor certification, we are the leaders or number one per se. So where do we work out? Where we talk to? So in terms of becoming the leader of the vendor neutral IT resource IT station provider, we also work out with a lot of the users and also global players like Microsoft. So we have this some sort of program whereby Microsoft alone recommending the prerequisite to put up CompTIA Service Plus as well as CompTIA Network Plus to be in their Microsoft Software and System Academy to support a lot of the tech force over there. So we also into CompTIA Microsoft Data Center Training Program, whereby CompTIA A Plus, which is one of the oldest program in the world in terms of core IT stations. Microsoft is also available in Singapore. We also to speak about what are the things that can help in terms of getting the right talent for the data center operations. So all in all, we also have a collaborations, a global partnership with Google, whereby professional certification or Google IT support professional certificate, whereby it's being a dual credential with CompTIA A+. Example, invited to be part of the Amazon internal program. They have selected, as you know, AWS provide the solution in terms of the cloud solutions. Hence why, in terms of preparing the technologies, core competencies, they will select CompTIA together to put up the programs such as CompTIA Plus as well as CompTIA Network Plus. We also have a long-term partnership with whereby Cisco Network Academy, more focused on the academic side. They are focused on cloud. Cisco are focused in terms of the networking. They have their own program or syllabus called IT Essentials. This is totally mapped to our program aligned with CompTIA A+. Recently, as of this year, we have the partnership with PNP, Project and Institute, in terms of picking up or positioning some of the core programs, vendor neutral, not related to the product or any software or hardware, whereby they put up CompTIA Data Analytics Program, Project Data Plus, CompTIA Project Plus, as well IT Fundamental, to be mostly for those non-IT people. Why a lot of organizations, a lot of users out there are looking to CompTIA programs, be courses or special provider, all our YD subject matter expert coming from Intel, Dell, HP, Microsoft itself, Cisco, to create or develop the content itself. And we are not focusing, we are the platform agnostic. We are not focusing to any product, tools, or the software per se, but more into the environment. So learning with CompTIA per se, if you understand that, okay, probably you are the user of the Apple phone or Apple MacBook, at the same time, users of the using the laptop or PCs based on the Microsoft operating system. So learning with CompTIA, you are not learning on the specific product or tools. You are, so when speaking about the operating system, when you learn about CompTIA, learn with CompTIA in terms of operating, we are going on multiple platforms, which is Windows operating system, Apple, as well as open source like Linux and Ubuntu, as will be operating system like we are learning or jumping into variety brands of products, and these broad skills really fit the learners in their career path. So whenever they move jobs or whenever companies they are different approach to their client, so this person are ready to understand the competency are there. So it's easy to move to different technologies, and to ensure the quality CompTIA also created, also being endorsed by the American as well as ISO, whereby we accredited the high quality exams. Recommended topics that will be experts, some of the areas that to be proud of, whereby from time to time these are something that really value in terms of concentration sound. All in all, focus or zoom in into the CompTIA courses. So we do have a total of 14 sections as of by being divided into the 4 areas. Course classification, something that we would like to talk in that today. Speaking about the by A plus, speaking about the network of security, network operation, which is we do have CompTIA Network Plus. All in all, we're also starting. We have something that really been highly demanded in Singapore, in Malaysia, which is CompTIA Security Plus, focus on preparing talent in terms of security, specific like pen test or going specific into the defense, is all started with CompTIA Security, cybersecurity framework or pen test CISA as well, CSP plus. We do have some programs which is focus on the infra pathway, which we do have server training and courses, open source Linux Plus as well as cloud. We'll cover that later on. And all in all, like what I mentioned earlier, these are the pillar that separate IT on the utilities, more on the hardware persons. But we do include some of the program plus that really required for anyone IT person to start their career with. So I think in terms of the roadmap to make it plus point, to make it very constructive. So looking by those are the job role. Then we do prepare our program direct to the job role itself. So just be a few programs are being designed to cater well as techniques. So we need to see it doesn't have for you for a person to start right before at IT fundamental move to the plus no. Program are being designed to the job role. Anyone recommended IT fundamental people to start for those probably A plus is the answer. But here, since it's been designed not to put up any person can start anywhere. So say IT staff already into the school department, into operating center, they might want to look into security, pen test, or CISA. Maybe in the server, they might want to look into cloud solutions. So mean to say, you do not have to start all the way from ITF to go through until the server plus program. Our programs to use it, but more cells. Moving to the areas, some of the competency of critical technique you can see on the right column. Someone that focuses into managing the networks, as per say network analyst or network technician, that looking into managing your switch, router, SDN. So the answer will be CompTIA Network Plus. So same goes to anyone that managing a task, a resource, a program. CompTIA Plus is there to cater for some areas critical, sometimes just agile or DevOps. So this is something that we include into our project management program. So those are the competencies in our programs, and look into the right column again. Those are the job roles that cater to align to this type of situation. So if we speak about network, we speak about A plus is totally multi-platform learning from CompTIA itself. The other areas infrastructure pathway, when you learn about server plus per se, we do include architecture of IBM HP server to our hands-on our virtuals lab. Moving into the focus for CompTIA program, we have been putting the element of cybersecurity learning many years ago. It's not just started 10 or 15 years. Many years ago, we see that cybersecurity is no longer a trend. So back then it was a trend, but now this is a requirement individuals for any corporations or organizations. When out of the 14 certification, we put up like 9 certifications that focus on cybersecurity in the area of their specializations. Focus, zoom in into the course itself, IT fundamental, skills and competency. These are more into, or I would say, centric, or maybe. So IT fundamental is is a program that put up various areas like security, database, application, and software. We talk about infrastructure, and these are the things that for the students or workforce that into career change, or can be the starting point for onboarding a new staff that need to understand what digital transport is. So it's all about the ICT literacy, the business solutions. Some of the corporation out there, for example, like BlackBerry, the users of the program, whereby when they transform their business from the core business in the past, they need IT literate. So these are the program that really helps the workforce understand. And IT fundamental one that learn in terms of the certificates about the IT as well as the and basic end user skills. I call it pre-career skills in for them to stay intact with the business world. So A plus deep dive into the technicalities, more on the hands-on. So these are more towards for the technical people. So a lot of areas. A plus, one of the oldest certification program by CompTIA, whereby it includes anything about IT from end to end. So we speak about hardware, we speak about virtualization, cloud computing, everything has been to CompTIA A+, and whereby I think that any tech people should start with. So this being well accepted, well mandated in the UK, in the US, by starting with CompTIA A+, we get next clear path. Network. So I would say is compared to the provider of networking program. So network syllabus itself, we talk about concepts, operations, security, network infrastructure. This is pretty much similar to any network program, for example, from Cisco or Huawei or Juniper. So the program, in terms of topics, the syllabus are there to cover. Take note from CompTIA itself is more towards the core competency, more not towards the products of whatever provider out there. So the tools like CompTIA are more focused in terms of the back end support of the networking, and these are the things that prepare the field engineer, the network consultant, network headless technician. Network is one of the possibility came in on board like 20 years ago, so everyone needs to understand how it works to support the organizations. So all in all, competencies that are demanded everywhere globally in the world will be the cybersecurity programs. We do have CompTIA Security Plus. This competency, it includes the core areas, the tools of technologies, the identities, vulnerability testing. Someone into cybersecurity needs to understand will be covered in CompTIA Security Plus. That prepares them to go into the next level, tier 2 or tier 3, like more into the pen testing or more into, which is more into the defense. So in terms of cybersecurity framework, there are two parts. We do have the blue team, more into defense. We do have the red team, more into that. Even before going to that, someone need to understand IT, technology, and then understand cybersecurity. So this what is Security Plus is the one that prepares them into this area with other specialization. So I think Security Plus also covered about the skills, hands-on. We do in our learning, we do a lot of the hands-on activities to cover the real-world issues, software, as well as we put some soft skill risk assessment, management, or leaderships. So moving into from technology, the core skills, then we have the now moving into the in CompTIA we do offer as CompTIA Cloud Plus, and these are the things what engineer does, what are the competencies that required by any cloud solution and a cloud talent. We put up over there in terms of the program itself. We do have CompTIA Essentials for non-technical people, but we do include in CompTIA Cloud Essentials, we do include about 30% speaking about the technicalities. The rest will be more into the business in cloud, more into the cloud environment and understanding the operation. So it's really good for any business people out there, business analysts, for some of the new data center stuff, even for the leadership to understand how does clouds work. Go into technical, but it's more about the business in cloud and the governance and risk. But speaking about the point that focus in cloud technicalities, architecture, that would be the cloud plus. More to the business people or non-IT centric people, for the user, and cloud must be someone that looking into the technical. This would be the cloud administrator that understand the management and maintenance, the configuration, the deployment for the cloud implementation for companies or per se. We do have a CompTIA Plus, the skills required. What are the job titles that so BI analyst, marketing analyst, or data analyst will require competencies, environment, the data mining analysis, visualization. This is one of the key things why data analysts or data scientists to visualize data that now as one of the core things for any organizations. Here, what are the target candidates in terms of to create the analytics person or talent. We look into those some that have hands-on about data analysis software, for example, Power BI and Tableau. But learning with CompTIA, a lot of the program tools, even we also use Microsoft Excel to understand how data being created and being presented. So this is the comparison in terms of the data. Just launched as of this year. It's more to the not focus on the tools, but focus on the neutrality provider. So all in all, speaking about the computer program, these are summary in terms of the session today. The employers by CompTIA that do it, that we did this globally. So the companies out there, they want people to be station. Of course, the first thing will be to help the employees to fill up the position. So you can see a lot of candidates out there do have to own their own diplomas, degrees, or their experience. Gives a value add for them to understand this person already validate that they are competent enough to perform the jobs that required by the companies. We also understand having this patient will make these employees will be to the employers or the companies and those what it meant by the fighting. All in all, you can see from time to time it was not really popular back then, but from time to time, IT world is only or space that sees education very important. So education on top of the experience as well as the education is part of the things that validate your competencies. And all in all, I believe any companies, any individuals has gone training in their life or in their working careers. So I think how do we measure, how does we, whether the training is really is required. So we put up certification over there to ensure that training are being related sex. So this is to understand that any learning process will have the measurement at the end of the day. So employees and industry are the one that also align through the professional certifications that provided are there, and of course. So all in all, this data or statement are being supported by showing that in 2018, this is the value of ITC report, whereby they came from the candidates of 10,000 throughout. Some of the programs responded, whereby what are the things that they required out there, in some of the populations, and it's growing in importance, like I mentioned earlier. But just last year, the survey with more than close to 50,000 candidates. In this, we can do the summary whereby by training patients, you can see that demand is growing. They have a passion in what they're doing. Of course, whenever they have this passion, they will do more, the better job satisfaction, the pay increase, and some countries and of course the having education also as individual pay increase. Whenever they started to do their first patient, this person will start continuous learning. So that's what we find out from the survey itself. So all in all, CompTIA has it there in terms of the solution, like what I shared earlier, some of the key programs that focus on the core skills. So that's how we work out with our partner hub, whereby to CompTIA program, we do have our official content to the e-learnings or even e-books. We do have tools, which is a really nice as well. Focus on self-listening as well as instructor-led training. So let's go video, see how does it take it from CompTIA ends in terms of learning the core program.
The needs of your learners continue to evolve, but one thing remains constant: process is paid by learning. We're here to help you unlock their full potential. Open a world of endless opportunities with CompTIA's integrated Cert Master Learn plus Labs learning solution. Our flexible, interactive, and e-learning courseware helps your learners gain the knowledge and hands-on practical skills to improve their performance and our lessons are fully scoped, sequenced, and aligned with CompTIA exam objectives, making your course planning easy. Setting a course completion date once a course is accessed. Generate a plan that organises content into digestible study tasks that keep each learner focused and on track to meet their study goals. Each includes a variety of learning activities, including narrative instructional content, embedded videos that explain real questions, lab activities, and performance-based questions that help apply what was learned in a scenario and provide practice for the types of performance-based questions found in a CompTIA exam. Learners gain a deeper understanding of subject matter and are able to get hands-on practice. Software access to a remote browser-based lab environment. Lab into the learning plan as study tasks at the appropriate place in the curriculum, so your learners can practice their skills immediately upon completing related readings and exercises. There are 2 types of labs available. Assisted labs guide through tasks, offering assessment and feedback experience. Labs, which present a series of goal-oriented scenarios in a 20 to 30-minute experience that covers multiple topics. Lab activities include gradable assessments, offer feedback and hints, and provide a score based on learner input. A final to the CompTIA certification exam helps validate learning and prepares for the CompTIA exam experience. Your learners will also have access to gamification features and other resources like a course map that details where the CompTIA exam objectives are covered. Learner analytics and identifies their strengths.
So basically, that's how the training being delivered to our partners in terms of the that's certified that skills from all information. You can also follow some of our programs to have more and more info on daily basis. Yeah, thank you. Looking forward to more questions from your end.
Yeah, thank you, Harold. This is Gary. I'm actually the product manager for the network infrastructure courses. I'm very happy to work with CompTIA and going to start to provide their official class starting in February next year. So why CompTIA, you might ask? Because as what Harry has actually earlier shared, CompTIA is a non-vendor specific courses. They will take all the requirements from all the industries, what kind of skills they need, because CompTIA courses focus on skills and which is a very good fit for our job role and our planning for infusing some of the vendor courses inside, because coming next year there will be a lot of bundles, training bundles that involve CompTIA courses, as well as we will also put in a lot of certifications from the vendors like AWS, Microsoft. There's a lot of exciting stuff coming, and all will be funded quite significantly by the Singapore government. So I thank you for your attention, and if you could help us to give feedback to our program for this session.